Okay, hope everybody's doing well. Excited, as a program to be headed out to San Diego. Beautiful, beautiful city. And would like to thank Mark Neville and Bob Bollinger, our team, and just met with my captains, putting together our bowl calendar and schedule. They're excited. A lot of my guys have never been that far west, and chance to go play against a team that we obviously have not played against since I've been here, and a team with a lot of history behind them and UCLA. And I think it's going to be a great matchup. Look forward to getting to know them and seeing what their team is all about. I know they've done a great job this year, and I think they just put up 60 points against their rival. So great opportunity. Part of bowl games is life experience. And I think getting a chance to go out to a city that most of our guys haven't seen right there on the Pacific Ocean and get to go to the San Diego Zoo or SeaWorld and see a ship. I think we're touring a Navy ship. I was actually born in San Diego in Coronado Island at the naval base over there. So pretty neat for me to get a chance to come back to where I was born and play in a bowl game. And then to get to do it in a professional baseball stadium. I've never played in a baseball stadium, so that'll be a fun experience. But look forward to it. I know our guys are excited and look forward to getting ready to play. Any questions?
All right, David, what you got?
This may be going not really towards what people were going to be asking today, but I didn't realize you were born in San Diego. How much time did you spend there as a kid? Like, when was the last time you were there?
I've been out there several times. Didn't live there long my dad was in the Navy at that time. But I did live in Los Angeles until I was in the 4th grade. So we lived on the West Coast up until then. And then I moved to Kansas, where I remember my childhood basically from that point on. But when I coached at Southern Cal, I was, recruited that area. When I coached at Montana, I recruited that area. When I coached at the University of Kansas for the first 2 years, I recruited Southern California. So I have a lot of, memories, friends, acquaintances. My father lives in West LA with his wife. So I have family in California still, and it's going to be a great trip.
Jonas.
Hey, Coach, throughout the years, most of the state's bowl games have been played in the East Coast or,
Right.
somewhere on the South. How big is this for the exposure of the program for you guys to take your brand out west for a bunch of fans who've never seen NC State football before?
Yeah, well, they've seen Phillip Rivers. He was out there a long time, so they have a little bit of idea what Wolfpack football is all about. But you're right. We're on Fox. It's a nationally televised game in the evening against a team that has an incredible tradition in UCLA. And then obviously their home base is about 2.5 hours north of San Diego. So I expect them to have quite a crowd. But it's a great opportunity to, get to a different place on the map, somewhere a long ways from here, and create some exposure for the ACC out in California.
Brett.
Dave, above and beyond the social aspects that you've already mentioned, what does it mean? What would it mean to your program and specifically to this group to be able to bring home a trophy for this season and, to get that 10th win, something that's only been done one time in program history?
Yeah, the 10th win is very meaningful to this staff, to this team, to our football family. Something, it's a legacy thing. These seniors want to say that they were, one of only 2 teams in 130 plus years of football that were able to accomplish that. So it's very meaningful. There's a lot of other reasons to win the game, but that's one of the things that, you talk about the big picture of winning a 10th game, and where that'll put us in the rankings. I'm sure that'll move us into the top 15, which is meaningful for these guys as well.
Patrick Welter.
Coach, you guys maybe had even bigger goals than the Holiday Bowl, but the season ends on a high note, beating UNC. Do you feel like this is an adequate reward for what you've accomplished this bowl game?
Yeah, I think all 3 of the bowls that we were at kind of between were great bowls. I think any of those 3 that would have picked us, obviously the travel could have been easier for us going to Florida than California, but once you get to the destination, I'm not sure there's many places in the world that are as nice as that town. In my experience down there, it's a beautiful place. So it's a great reward to be, going to Florida or California for a bowl game. We're very excited about the opportunity.
James.
Dave, you've already had multiple players who had the option to go pro announce they were going to come back for you guys next year. What does that say about the culture of your program to see guys make decisions like that so quickly?
Mm-hmm. I think it says a lot. I think it kind of answers your question with action more so than my words. These young men have a lot of people in their ears, a lot of people telling them what to do, and that they trust us, that they know that they're going to have another opportunity to be developed by great people, that they love being around these guys and their coaches, and says a lot about the culture that's here. And, that's something that we've worked really hard, not just as coaches, but as players, to have that type of room, to have that type of setting, a place that you love walking into and working, and a family environment. So, yeah, I think it's very meaningful. And they're seeing teammates like Emeka come back and look at what he accomplished by doing that. He had a remarkable season. So I think, seeing the proof. Bradley Chubb came back, had a great year. Ryan Finley came back, had a great year. These guys that have done that have benefited in most cases from that.
And just to follow up, did you guys practice this week? Did you give them the week off? What was that like for you?
No, we needed some time to heal up, man. That UNC week, our whole team had the flu. And our staff had it the following week. So, yeah, we've been trying to just get healthy around here. Giving the guys, this is finals week right now. We're focused on just getting healthy and finishing strong in the classroom, and then we'll pick things back up.
Thanks.
Yep.
Todd Gibson.
Yeah, Dave, these extra practices are very important to young players, I assume, too. Just are there a few players that you could maybe identify that where these extra bowl practices might really be beneficial for them? There's maybe some players we don't know about.
I think there's probably 50. All of the guys that took the lion's share of the reps for the season that you guys watched, we're going to try to get them a chance to really get in the weight room. I want to see what the guys that were 2s and 3s can do. It's doesn't matter which player you're talking about, but the Caden Fordhams and Jordan Pools and Demi Sumos and Thornton Gentry, Sean Hill, Lyndon Cooper, Travali, Julian Gray. There's so many freshmen or redshirt freshmen that we want to get out there and work with. And, Aaron McLaughlin, Ben Finley, the list goes on, who they are. But there's a lot of guys that need to, not just get reps, but for us to be able to tell them, like, hey, here's what we saw. You got from now until spring ball to work on these things. It really does give them kind of a litmus test of what they need to do better getting ready for spring football.
Jonas.
Coach, to follow up on the question that James had earlier, guys are already announcing that they are returning. Have you noticed that it's kind of building excitement a little bit ahead of schedule? Like usually there's excitement for the next season after the bowl or doing spring ball, but have you noticed like it's building more excitement earlier with those guys coming back?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's everything's sped up, everything. So I'm not surprised by it. It does build excitement for next year, not only with the public, but with our own roster. I think guys are excited about who all is coming back, and there's more of them. They're eventually going to make decisions one way or the other that'll come out. And, once we know everybody, you guys will find out. I'm not going to be a spokesman for who's coming back. I'm allowing these guys to have that opportunity to get their time in the sun.
David.
Yeah, Coach, do you have concern about, fans being able to make this trip and, right after the holidays, it's a East Coast, West Coast. It's not cheap.
No, I know. Yeah, that's the negative of going out there. It's definitely going to be a more expensive ticket than it would have been going to Orlando or Jacksonville. So, absolutely. I would love to have Wolfpack Nation packing the stadium, but I understand that's a lot to ask. So I know we'll have some fans that can go. We'll have some fans that can't. And it's unfortunate. You would love for your fan base to be able, they're so good to us here and to be able to be a part of that. But the ones that can make it, look forward to having them there with us. And the ones that can, I know they'll be tuned in.
Brett,
David, the month between the Carolina game and the bowl game, do you anticipate anybody who has been hurt and hasn't been playing being able to come back and play in the bowl game?
Yeah, Devin Boykin, we should get back. Feel really good about him being back with us. Chris Toodles, a possible. None of the other players will be back.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Rob,
Yeah, I know it's been many years, Dave, but what are your memories of the matchups you had when you were at SC against UCLA, and is it sort of akin to NC State and Carolina?
Yeah, that's a unique rivalry. Very similar, within 30 miles of each other. Same blue team over there that nobody liked when I was at USC, and a lot of hatred between them. There's a big Bruin on their campus. There's a big Trojan on Southern Cal's, and they actually would have security guards guard those during the week because their students would come over and vandalize them throughout the week. But yeah, it was a great rivalry, man. And at that time, they were both really good football teams. UCLA was at that time a really good football team. So yeah, that was a great rivalry game, playing it at the Rose Bowl or in the Coliseum, 200,000 seat stadiums, a lot of people there.
Jonas,
Coach, I know bowl games are part business trip, but you just said you're going back to your birthplace and there's so many sights to see there. Is there one thing you're looking forward to do in your free time or the time you got out with the fellas that you look forward to seeing in San Diego?
Yeah, I love SeaWorld, man. I've always enjoyed SeaWorld, so I'll definitely be taking that in. I'm not sure. I need to talk to, the bowl folks down there on the trip to the Navy ship. I've been on several myself, so, I don't know if I'll be a part of that or if I'll be going to the zoo that day. I have to figure out if it's optional or not optional, but I'm excited about the whole thing, man. I love going to bowl games with our team. I think it's just a great experience, and it's fun seeing the players who haven't had, the years like we have to travel and see all the things that are out there. This will be a great learning experience, cultural experience for them.
Matt,
Kind of along those lines, Coach, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You didn't get the real bowl experience last year in the Gator Bowl in terms of, did that make you appreciate, maybe made some of the older players appreciate more of the experience of what you get out of a bowl?
Probably so. Last year we went down there the day before. It was like a road trip. So yeah, I think for sure. And, most of these guys will tell you that bowl games are more fun when you win too. So, one of the more fun bowls we've had recently was the Sun Bowl because we won it, and I think that's part of it. You got to get ready to go win a game and balance your fun and work ratio that you have. But these guys have been phenomenal for 2 years. This team's been together pretty much, and it'll be nice to have a 4 to 5 day window to go do something special with them.
Gary Hahn,
Yes, Dave, you said you set your bowl calendar. When does the team leave and how many days do you have out there?
Yeah, it's not for me to distribute yet, Gary. So once we have that, we'll give it to you.
All right, thanks.
all right, I believe that's all the hands. Coach, thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.